94.3 WYBC, the rhythm of the city. I'm Daryl Huckabee with Dee in the morning on a Monday morning. And anybody that knows me knows that I enjoy the theater. So I'm excited to have a special guest join us today. Her name is Abigail Jean-Baptiste. She is the director of a play that's coming to the Yale Repertory Theater by the name of Furlough's Paradise. Abigail, good morning.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here.
Excited to have you on as director of this upcoming play.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into being a director in theater and all of that.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I grew up in New York City, so, I was around a lot of theater growing up. I was a really avid audience member. I just loved seeing stories told live and in person. Just think there's something so thrilling and visceral about it that makes you feel so human. And so just something I always loved. And when I went to college, I was acting a little bit, but I was like, I want to know what's going on the other side of the table. Like, I want to know what they're talking about when they're making the world come to life. So I started directing, and when I graduated, I moved back home and just sort of got in as many rehearsal rooms as I could and just started figuring out what stories I wanted to tell and what my process wanted to be. And I just haven't looked back.
That must be a wonderful feeling, being able to piece things together and watch it come to life.
Yes. Exactly. So well said. There's just something really magical about watching the words from the page come to the rehearsal room, and then all of the design elements pieced together. We're actually in tech right now, which is when the rehearsals with the actors are meeting all of the amazing work that the production team has been doing in terms of building the set and hanging the lights and everything. And so as the director who's been in conversations in both rooms, seeing those worlds come together is such a special experience.
Nice. So let's talk about Furlough's Paradise. What's that about? And that's actually a play from AKA Payne, who is a graduate of Yale University.
That's right.
Drama.
Yes. So Furlough's Paradise, A.K. Payne, the playwright, A.K. wrote it actually while at the drama school. And A.K. also went to undergrad here, so called New Haven home for over 8 years. And AK loves New Haven so much, and it was one of the reasons I was so excited to come here. AK was really involved in the community theater here as well, and just really got to know the city of New Haven and Black New Haven. And I just got really excited about bringing this play back to where she imagined it. And so it's a play about these two cousins. One's named Sade, one is named Mina. And they grew up together in a Great Migration city. We don't ever hear the name of the city, but think Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Chicago, Brooklyn. Those are, some of the places that we know as Black folks went during the Great Migration from the South. And so we're in a city like that on a road called Dayton Road. And this is where these cousins grew up. And we're meeting them in 2017 when they're both in their mid-late 20s. And even though they really grew up as sisters, we're seeing them at a point in their life where they haven't been close for a long time. In fact, Sade has been in jail for 7 years. And before that, Mina had left home to go to a Ivy League school. And so their lives just really haven't been intertwined like they were when they were kids. And so they're gathering together because Sade was granted furlough because her mom passed away. And so we're watching the two of them go through this mourning ritual, this grieving ritual, not just of LaShonda, Sade's mom and Mina's aunt, but also the grief that they've had of their own relationship, and can they work through their the huge gaps between them to find each other again.
Sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, AK went to Yale, and Terrell Alvin McCraney was the chair of the playwright at that time, who says that that's one of the best playwrights that he's ever seen.
Yes, That's right. Terrell's a big fan of AK, as am I. Like, AK has just been on a really beautiful ride of people celebrating their work. And I think there's something really beautiful about AK as a person that like draws you in. And then the work is like, okay, yes, you know, I really want to make this happen. So um, I think something really that brought me to AK at the beginning of our working relationship was that how AK writes on the page is just so unique. So, you know, if you saw the play and then read it on the page, you'd be like, whoa, because AK does these line breaks. Like it really looks on the page, it looks more like a poem than like dialogue. Um, and it's because AK is really like writing and thinking about breath, thinking about the body, thinking about how Black people speak, right? Like we're taught English and writing and grammar from a very like white Western, like coming from European way. And AK is really trying to break out of those traditions of language. And there's a rhythm and cadence to the way that AK writes that just really is buoyant, is muscular, like comes off the page in a way that I think a lot of plays don't. So the writing is just, it's different, right?
Yeah.
And so I think people get really excited about seeing AK's words come to life. And then also the subjects that AK is writing about, like, are so deeply Black, so honest, so daring. Like, there's, you know, we have the story about the cousins, but then as you'll see in the play, AK is exploring questions about humanity and world building and like how can we build the world that we want to live in, that we feel safe and free in, which, you know, Black freedom is something that people have been talking about and exploring for so many decades, centuries now, but is something that continues to be like rebellious and fugitive, and like we need to really find that for ourselves and for each other and coalition build in new ways. So there's something about AK's writing that's not only like deeply familiar and innovative, but also like really risk taking. And I think that's the kind of work that people are hungry for right now.
Nice. Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking to Abigail Jean-Baptiste, who is the director of the upcoming play at the Yale Repertory Theater, Furlough's Paradise. Now, in your career, you've been focused on questions around Blackness, isolation, and kinship. What has drawn you to those types of narratives and topics?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in New York City, so it's a big place, right? And so there's always an ability to hide and feel anonymous. And I think even when you have family and community, you're never bigger than the city, you're never bigger than the place, right? And so I'm thinking a lot about isolation, just because the world's so big. And then Blackness, like I really think that it's something that we don't talk enough about, right? It's not only, it's a human invention, right? But then it's also like a lived reality that influences not just Black people, but like everyone in the world. And so ideas of Blackness and like identity formation are so important to me. And then kinship, yeah, I feel like that's like being seen by others, being seen by ourselves is something that's just so human and something I feel we're all after at the heart of it. And so these three themes have just shown up a lot in what my priorities are as a storyteller. And Furlough's Paradise is a beautiful crossover of those three things. Like we're seeing these two Black cousins gather, and at the top of the play and throughout it, like they're talking a lot about loneliness and feeling alone, and even when they're right by someone who they so deeply love, and how do you build kinship and trust relationship and trust love when fears of being alone and feelings of being alone are so loud. And they're also just trying to figure out how to like be Black in this country and be, and like, you know, it's 2017. in the world of our play. It's the first Trump administration, and so both of them are just trying to figure out like how to exist and feel whole.
Well, good. Sounds very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing it, and seems like you've had a great career thus far, and I'm looking forward to seeing your presentation of this play, Furlough's Paradise. Again, it's happening at the Yale Repertory Theater starting next Friday, or this Friday, I should say, May 24th, or April 24th through May 16th. If you want ticket information and to purchase tickets, you can log on to yalerep.org. Abigail Jean-Baptiste, director, thank you for joining us today. And hopefully I'll get to meet you when I'm bringing my mom. So hopefully we'll get to meet and talk off.
Yes, please come say hi. I'm so excited to have you. And we're just really excited to share the story in our production with New Haven, where the story began, you know? So
absolutely.
See you there.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I'm Daryl Huckabee with Dee Dee in the Morning on 94.3 WYBC, the Rhythm of the City.